My beloved friends, imagine this moment as the turning point in your life where everything you believed about creation and manifestation dissolves into the magnificent truth that has always resided within you. Can you feel it? That stirring in your consciousness that whispers, there must be more than vision boards and endless affirmations. I come to you today bearing a revelation so profound that, once understood, will transform not just how you manifest, but the very nature of your existence. For decades, countless teachers have diluted and distorted the divine principles that Neville Goddard, that spiritual giant of the 20th century, so meticulously revealed to humanity. What if I told you that every technique you've been taught, every visualization exercise, every affirmation program, every high vibration practice was built upon a fundamental misunderstanding of the creative process? Would you be willing to put aside everything you think you know and discover the truth that has been hidden in plain sight? After immersing myself in Goddard's complete works for over 15 years, studying every lecture, every book, every recorded word, I discovered something that shook me to my very core. Most modern manifestation teachers have completely misinterpreted his revolutionary understanding of consciousness and creation. Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. These words from Neville strike at the heart of mankind's greatest misconception. You have been told that manifestation is a process of attracting things from out there, as if the world exists separately from you, as if you must somehow convince the universe to grant your wishes. This, my dear friends, is the first grand illusion we must dissolve together. What Neville actually taught, and what transformed thousands of lives during his lifetime, is that the entire world you experience is nothing more and nothing less than your consciousness pushed out into expression. There is nothing to attract because there is nothing outside of you. Can you feel the power in this understanding? The world is yourself pushed out, Neville declared with absolute certainty. Ask yourself what you are aware of right now. You are aware of your room, your home, your friend, your business. They seem to be other than yourself, but they are your awareness objectified. The second misconception that has kept you trapped in cycles of frustration is the belief that manifestation requires constant repetition, as if God, the universal mind, or your own wonderful human imagination were hard of hearing. How many times have you repeated affirmations until they lost all meaning? How many vision boards have you created, only to see those images remain lifeless on the paper? Neville's teaching on this point is revolutionary. It is not what you want that you attract. You attract what you believe to be true. The secret is not endless repetition, but the art of assumption, the ability to live from the end as if your desire were already fulfilled. One moment of complete assumption, saturated with feeling, is worth more than months of mechanical repetition. And finally, perhaps the most insidious misconception of all, that manifestation requires perpetual positive thinking, that you must somehow maintain high vibrations every moment of every day. This toxic positivity has led countless seekers into shame and self-judgment when their human emotions inevitably surface. Neville taught something far more liberating. Feeling is the secret, not perpetual positivity, but the ability to capture and embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is not about denying your current emotions, but about the deliberate exercise of your imagination clothed in the most natural feeling of accomplishment. As we dive deeper into these three profound misconceptions, prepare yourself for a complete revolution in how you understand creation. What I'm about to share with you isn't just another technique. It's the fundamental principle behind all creation, the very mechanism through which your consciousness shapes reality. The wisdom I'm about to reveal has transformed my life beyond recognition, and I've witnessed it do the same for thousands who have applied these principles correctly. Are you ready to discover what Neville Goddard really taught about the art of conscious creation? Because once you truly understand this, you'll never approach manifestation the same way again. Your days of struggling, of working against yourself, of feeling like the universe is withholding your good, they end today. Let us now turn to the first shocking truth about manifestation that most teachers get completely wrong. The foundation of manifestation, as taught by the master teacher Neville Goddard, begins with this revolutionary understanding. The world is not separate from you. It is your consciousness made visible. Every person, every circumstance, every experience in your life is a reflection of states you have occupied in consciousness. The whole vast world is yourself pushed out, Neville declared. All that you behold, though it appears without, it is within. in your imagination of which this world of mortality is but a shadow. Consider this profound truth. You are not living in the universe. The universe is living within you. Every object, every person you perceive, exists within your consciousness. There is nothing to attract because there is nothing outside of you. The entire manifestation industry has been built upon this fundamental misunderstanding that you must somehow pull things toward you from an external universe. Let me share with you a testimony from one of Neville's lectures. A woman desired to visit her son stationed overseas during wartime, an impossible request by all logical standards. Rather than begging external forces or repeating endless affirmations, she simply did what Neville instructed. She assumed the state of already being with her son. She fell asleep feeling the joy of embracing him, smelling the familiar scent of his hair, hearing his laughter. Within days, against all military protocols, she received special permission to visit him, the only civilian granted such access. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, Neville taught, the whole vast world rushes to bring into visibility that which confirms your assumption. This is not attraction. This is creation from within. Now to our second revelation that will transform your manifestation practice forever. The misunderstood principle of repetition. The conventional teaching suggests that you must repeatedly visualize and affirm your desires until they manifest as if the creative power of the universe were stubborn or forgetful. This mechanical approach has left countless seekers exhausted and discouraged. Neville's actual teaching presents a radically different approach. If you will assume your desire and live there as though it were true, no power on earth can stop it from becoming a fact. The emphasis is not on repetition, but on the quality of your assumption, your ability to naturally occupy the state of your wish fulfilled. Consider the distinction. Conventional techniques have you repeatedly saying, "I will be wealthy," while feeling poor. Neville's approach has you simply assuming the natural feeling of wealth. How you would feel, think, and perceive if wealth were already your reality. This subtle but critical difference explains why so many fail despite years of affirmations. A businessman came to Neville once, facing imminent bankruptcy. Instead of prescribing months of positive affirmations, Neville guided him to sleep each night from the consciousness of already having abundant contracts and financial security. Within 2 weeks, a competitor unexpectedly offered to buy his struggling company for far more than its apparent value, instantly transforming his financial reality. You need not repeat the act if it is once executed satisfactorily, Neville assured us. One moment of complete assumption, fully believed and saturated with feeling, is more powerful than months of mechanical repetition. Our third revelation dismantles perhaps the most harmful misconception in modern manifestation teaching: the obsession with maintaining perpetual positive thinking and high vibrations. Neville never taught that you must eliminate all negative thoughts or maintain constant positivity. What he actually taught was the deliberate exercise of imagination according to the law of assumption. It is not what you want that you attract. You attract what you believe to be true, he explained. Rather than forcing artificial positivity, Neville introduced the transformative practice of revision, the art of reimagining past events as you wish they had occurred. This is not denial but creative redemption of experience. Revision is the way to change the past, he taught. If you do not like what you have experienced, revise it. Review the past day, see it clearly in your mind's eye, and rewrite it as you wish it had been. The law of assumption transcends the popular but limited law of attraction by recognizing that your consciousness is not merely attracting external realities but creating them through the states you occupy. A woman in Neville's audience had endured years of conflict with her daughter-in-law. Instead of trying to maintain high vibrations while gritting her teeth, she applied revision. Each night she rewrote their interactions in imagination, seeing her daughter-in-law as loving and harmonious. Within weeks, without any external action, their relationship transformed completely. The world is yourself, pushed out, Neville emphasized. What you are aware of, you are experiencing. If you don't like what you are experiencing, change your awareness. The true power of Neville's teaching is not found in technique, but in the revolutionary understanding that consciousness is the only reality. Your human imagination is not a tool for manipulating an external universe. It is the very substance of creation itself, the God power operating within you. My beloved friends, we stand at the threshold of a new understanding, one that liberates you from the endless seeking, striving, and techniques that have kept you separated from your own divine creative power. Let us now integrate these profound revelations and discover how to apply Neville Goddard's true teachings in your daily life. What have we learned? First, that the entire universe exists within your consciousness. There is nothing to attract because there is nothing outside of you. Second, that manifestation occurs not through mechanical repetition, but through the art of assumption, living naturally from the state of your wish fulfilled. And third, that feeling, not perpetual positivity, is the secret to unlocking your creative power. The whole vast world is yourself pushed out, Neville declared with absolute certainty. Every person, every circumstance in your life is but a reflection of states you have occupied in consciousness. This understanding alone transforms the entire foundation of manifestation practice.
Now, I invite you to experience this truth directly through a simple yet profound exercise that captures the essence of Neville's teaching. This is not another technique. It is the fundamental principle of conscious creation itself.
Close your eyes for a moment and think of something you desire to experience. It could be a new relationship, expanded wealth, vibrant health, or deeper spiritual connection. Now, instead of seeing this desire as something separate from you that you must attract or achieve, recognize that it already exists within your consciousness. The secret lies in what Neville called the feeling of the wish fulfilled. How would you feel if this desire were already your present reality? Not how you imagine you might feel in the future, but the natural, normal feeling of it being done now. Would you feel a quiet sense of satisfaction? A deep peace, a bubbling joy? Whatever that feeling is, allow it to permeate your entire being. This is not visualization. This is embodiment. You are not trying to attract anything. You are simply occupying the state that naturally includes your desire. An assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact, Neville taught. The key word here is persisted, not through mechanical repetition, but through the natural occupancy of that state. When you catch yourself slipping back into the old state of lack or longing, gently return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Here is where so many seekers encounter challenges. But how can I feel something is true when all evidence contradicts it? Neville's response was revolutionary. You must be independent of the evidence of your senses and the evidence of reason. Your senses show you the world that was created by past assumptions. Your new assumption, when properly embodied, will create new evidence. Consider what happens when you fall in love. Suddenly, the entire world seems different, more beautiful, more alive, more filled with possibility. Did the world change, or did your state of consciousness change? This is the power of state. It transforms your entire experience without any external action. Now let me address some common questions that arise when first applying Neville's teachings correctly. How long should I do this exercise? Neville's answer was clear. It is not about duration, but about the quality of your assumption. One moment of complete assumption, saturated with the feeling of naturalness, is more powerful than hours of mechanical practice. Do not fall asleep in the state of wanting, fall asleep in the state of having. What if negative thoughts and doubts arise? Remember, Neville never taught that you must eliminate all negative thoughts. Rather, he taught that when they arise, simply return to your assumption without fighting the negative. Do not fight the negative, he said. Simply turn from it and assume the positive. What about taking action? Here again, Neville's teaching differs dramatically from conventional manifestation advice. He taught that action must flow naturally from your assumed state, not as a means of making your desire happen. Action is determined by the state from which it flows, he explained. When you truly occupy the state of your wish fulfilled, you will be compelled to take whatever action naturally aligns with that state without effort or strain. The practice is elegantly simple, yet it requires a complete revolution in how you understand reality. You are not working to change things out there. You are simply shifting the state of consciousness from which your entire world proceeds. This is why results often appear miraculous to those who truly grasp and apply Neville's teaching. A woman assumed the state of being happily married to a specific man who hadn't shown any interest in her. She lived from that assumption not as a technique, but as her reality. Within weeks, their relationship transformed, and within months, they were married. No manipulation, no external action, simply a change of state. Now, my dear friends, consider what this means for your life. Every circumstance, every relationship, every aspect of your experience proceeds from your state of consciousness. Change the state, and you change everything that proceeds from it. Let me be absolutely clear. What I'm sharing with you is not another self-help technique. It is the fundamental principle behind all creation, the same principle that has been taught by the great spiritual masters throughout the ages. The kingdom of heaven is within you, said the greatest teacher of all. Neville simply provided the practical understanding of how to apply this truth in daily life. As we conclude this exploration of Neville Goddard's revolutionary teaching, I invite you to step fully into your divine creative power. Stop seeking techniques. Stop trying to attract things from out there, and recognize that you are the source of all you experience. Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness, Neville declared. Free yourself from this delusion, and you free yourself from limitation forever. If you've found value in these revelations, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel, where we'll continue to explore the misunderstood teachings of the great masters of consciousness. Together, we'll move beyond the superficial understanding that has dominated manifestation teaching and discover the profound truth of who you really are. Remember, you are not a seeker of power. You are power itself, temporarily dreaming of limitation. It's time to awaken to your true nature as the divine operant power in your world. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Neville Goddard's true teaching. Until next time, continue to live from the end, for nothing is impossible to the man who can imagine and feel it to be true.